Welcome back, ciao amici. Today I'm going to show you an old school trick how to get rid of the driveline vibrations. I had these issues for 5 years and finally I solved it. It's an old school trick that was taught to me by Roberto Catania, who is an old school technician with these coupes and knows the best about it. So thanks to him, and I hope you'll learn something new here, something quite easy which could help you, because I was trying to solve this issue for 5 years and to no avail. So let's jump under the car and I will show you how it's done and what you should check to have your prop shaft in order. So let's go. So as you can see in the workshop manual, it states that if you have excessive road vibration, you should check for a few things. One is to check the shock absorbers. I have new ones. Also, easy thing to check is the wheel balance, the front and back wheels. So that's a biggie. You should have the tires balanced. Then you should check all the bushings on the sway arms and the panhard rod and everything else. All the bushings should be in top condition, and once you have that, then you can move forward. So I had everything new installed, the guiball, the bushings, the engine mounts, and I tried to move the engine about to get the shaft from back from the differential to the front as straight as possible, because I thought that it's not in a straight line, which it should be. It doesn't have to be, but it should be in the first generation type of the shaft. In the second one it's something different, but I won't go into that in this small video. So I had the shaft also out. I had it balanced, the front and back, and I'll show you how it looks under the car. Also it states you should look at the pillow block that is in the center of the driveline, so you should have a new pillow block. So basically all the new bushings and bearings. So let's hop into the hole under the car and I'll show you how it looks under the car. So here we are under the car. As you can see, here is the rubber guiball or the rubber donut, whatever it's called. We have the bracket that holds the gearbox. So your bushing, this one, should be also new. Everything as renewed as possible, for the simple reason that it can cause a vibration. So when you look at the prop shaft, you have a rubber donut also here. This one should be renewed. Then you have a center spider bearing, or what's the name of the bearing that holds these two joints. This one also should be new. So renew all the parts if possible. What I have done is that I took out the prop shaft and I checked that there is no play here in the center part. So you hold the shaft and try to wiggle it around. So if there is no play, then that's okay, and that's how it should be. Always remember the small things. As you can see, the clips that hold the bearing, this one should be also new and snugly in place, because if they are not, then the bearing inside here can move around the spider. So that's a biggie. It's a small thing, but it can cause a big vibrations. So that's one of the things that I renewed and checked. Also, you can read in the manual that the back of the shaft, the back torque tube itself, the shaft inside, is balanced by itself. The yoke and the back yoke, there's a back yoke there, and these are balanced together like single shaft. The back shaft and then the front shaft is also balanced together, single, and this part, the yoke, should be balanced with the shaft, because you can take this out and move it around and then it can cause vibrations. So these two parts, the front and the back shaft, should be balanced separately. But what I figured out after 5 years is that the rotation of the front shaft towards the back shaft that means like 180 degrees, you can move this around, matters. So that's also something to remember when you are trying to balance the shaft and solve your driveline issues. So that's that. Also, as I said previously, you have the sway arms and all the bushings that hold the driveline. You should have these renewed as well as the engine mounts. So basically, if everything you have in top condition and you're ready to go, then we can proceed to the old school trick that was taught. It's easy as that. As you can see, the 3 bolts here, the bolts that point backward, that are on the back yoke, these 3, you loosen them, then you loosen these 2 bolts that hold the bracket, and you loosen the 4 nuts that hold the centerpiece of the drive shaft. What happens is that once you start the sequence of tightening or retightening, the whole assembly from the gearbox to the back of the shaft straightens out. I knew this, but there is the important issue of the sequence of retightening the bolts. So after you loosen everything out, then you retighten back these 3 bolts. That straightens out the whole assembly. Then you don't retighten these brackets, but you retighten first the 4 nuts that hold the drive shaft in place, these ones. And as the last step, you retighten the gearbox bracket. And that's it. That's how easy it is. So thank you, Roberto, once again, and I hope I helped you with this. It's very easy and it did help me. Ciao.